All right, comedy fans. Yes, I'm actually kind of, stepping out of the realm of the Tyler Perry and drama shows that I usually watch and review on the channel. And just want to talk about the new Kevin Hart special that was added to Netflix yesterday morning. Ironically enough, I'm recording this video around 6 a.m. November 18th, which is more or less 24 hours since I actually watched the special yesterday morning. And what are my thoughts on it? I went into this special with very low expectations. First of all, I didn't even know he had a special coming out. The only reason I knew it was on Netflix yesterday morning was because I'd woken up around 3 o'clock after going to bed early on Monday night, and I saw Kevin Hart trending with like maybe 1,200 tweets. I'm like, oh, wait, is this like another scandal or something that just popped off? And I'm just now seeing it, trending now. But I clicked on it and it turned out he had the special. So it was like 4:30. I clicked on it. It's about 68, 70 minutes long. It's barely over an hour, folks. And if you if you subtract like the little introduction when he's with his family, then at the end when he's in bed with his wife, it's more or less an hour. And What Now and Irresponsible, which I do believe were the two specials that came after Let Me Explain, those were major duds in my opinion. I was not a fan of either one of those specials, and the fact that another one just came out, I decided to give it a shot because I had nothing else to do. I was working on some video editing and I cut it on. And I will admit, I did get a couple of genuine laughs out of it. There were a few times where I really did laugh at the jokes, but overall, I wouldn't say this stands up with the no pun intended. I wouldn't say this particular special is one that I would revisit anytime soon. I know for What Now and Irresponsible, it felt like a burden trying to make it through the entirety of those specials. With zero F's given, it kind of had a slow start to it. I mean, first of all, not to quote Kevin Hart, first of all, let me tell you what happened with the special. No, it took place in his living room. Yeah, in his home. Basically, it was almost like the, Dave Chappelle, like, what was it? The 14-minute special he did for YouTube. What was it? YouTube he did it for? Yeah, the YouTube comedy special. I forgot the title. I just know the title was in reference to the number of minutes that George Floyd had the officer's knee on his neck. But, there was that special. And then, of course, you got the Kevin on Stage Studios, like Keep Your Distance, comedy specials where, it's the comedian on stage with a small group of people, mask on and everything. So I will say this is almost like a Kevin Hart, kind of like we never seen before, because I will say that I felt like a certain level of humility about him in regards to the way he presented himself. I mean, sure, he was a bit over the top at times, but that's Kevin Hart. But I will say that it seemed like he did a better job, at least in the last two specials, when it comes to taking a joke and making it a running gag through the show. I noticed that in What Now and Irresponsible. Like, remember in, Let Me Explain. It's like, help me, or the bum bump, or it's like, what was the other good one? Yeah, let's ride, that kind of stuff. Or, yeah, maybe not necessarily running gags, but quotables. Those quotable jokes like, you gonna learn today, do you, boo-boo? Hey, see, the way my bank account's set up, little things like that. I didn't get anything like that from What Now and Irresponsible. I know one of the tours, I want to say it was What Now, and he's like, oh, really? It's like when you're telling a woman something and she doesn't believe you, and then the bit about the raccoon or something like that. Those jokes didn't land at all. Like, I didn't walk away from either one of those specials with any kind of, quotables. The only thing I really felt like I got from this particular one was a bop, brick oven pizza. Like, literally, you get to that part of the joke. I think he was at Jerry Seinfeld's house, and that was the whole thing. That was a bit funny. I did kind of see where the joke was going, but I did laugh, especially when he transitioned to, hey, I decided to give bop to my friends. And it's like, most of my friends that came over were black compared to, Jerry Seinfeld. White people lose their mind over a bop, brick oven pizza. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and diss brick oven pizza. I know that at Liberty, I forgot the name of the restaurant they had on campus, but they were all about that kind of, brick oven cuisine. Wasn't a fan, not me. I'd rather get some Domino's, hell, even Little Caesars. Brick oven is not my thing. I mean, it has an interesting taste to it, but when I'm in my leisure time, I wouldn't mind just getting some Pizza Hut or something like that, but that's just me. But most of the comedy focused on the family. I mean, he did talk about how he had the Rona back in March, when it was first coming out, and he spent a little bit of time on his whole accident. And then I love the bit about him talking about how his kids, are used to certain things, a certain way of living, being that they live with, Kevin Hart versus, when they're staying with their mom / his ex-wife. I know it seems like I'm digging. Like, I didn't hate this special. I honestly thought it was better than the last two, but it's not one I'm going to rewatch anytime soon. I mean, it was pretty much a one and done for me. That's honestly my full thoughts on it. Like, I remember the Cat Williams special, like the Make America Great or something like that. I know that was like his first Netflix special, and I remember doing a video on that, and the first 20 minutes, basically almost like the first third or the first half of that one special was Cat telling jokes about, I believe it took place in Florida. So he was talking about Florida and stuff like that. And I'm like, as a person who's never been to Florida, who doesn't live in Florida, obviously that was just a waste of time. It took a long time for that special to get off the ground. But when it got to the back half, Cat was killing it. So when I think of the Kevin Hart one, it kind of was like a roller coaster. Like, it took a while for it to go up the hill. And then when it got to the point where it was really funny, it kind of went back down. It felt like, this was it was kind of all over the place. Like, there were high moments and there were low moments, but overall I would give it maybe like a 6 out of 10. I thought it was pretty decent, but not to tell somebody what to do in their career field, especially when they're as successful as the Kevin Hart, he's better off with the movies. Like, I think I mentioned this on either Twitter or I left a comment on a YouTube video. I know the Netflix YouTube channel, which ironically enough, it never even popped up in my recommended until this morning, the day after I watched the trailer. Apparently, they dropped a trailer for it on November the 13th, which was last Friday. And the trailer is about 90 seconds long, and I watched it. This is the most poorly edited comedy special trailer I've ever seen, because it doesn't do the special justice at all. It doesn't even let one joke fly. There's a bunch of setups, but there's no payoffs, and it's just a Frankenstein edition of the special. And remember, as someone who saw the special before the trailer, this trailer does it no favors whatsoever. I mean, hell, the trailer at this point in time hasn't even reached 300,000 views. That should tell you right there that this special felt like there were 0 F's given in the promotion for it. Now, maybe it was promoted everywhere and it just slipped under my radar. But I guess maybe in the heat of the moment with the election and everything, I wasn't really checking for a comedy special. But to my knowledge, this really didn't seem as promoted as, let's say, a Dave Chappelle. I mean, Dave Chappelle on SNL got more, traction than this Kevin Hart special. And heck, I think he did his opening monologue for SNL was like maybe 16, almost 20 minutes long. And I'd rather watch that twice or 4 times more than watching the special again. And to be honest, in the living room, you'll see on the back wall, he has the artwork from the first few specials he did. What was it? I'm a Grown Little Man, Seriously Funny, Laugh at My Pain, Let Me Explain. I know that Kevin said somewhere that he wanted to do what no other comedian has ever done before. I believe where he had 10 solid specials or something along those lines. Actually, let me look this up while I am talking about it. And while I'm looking it up, I forgot to mention this. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and follow me on my social media. Links are in that description box below. And hit that bell notification icon and select all. That way you're notified whenever I post new content to the channel. Wow. Okay, he has about, I want to say 7 specials, but I'm double checking. Sorry, I know this is a heat of the moment. Like, I honestly didn't even feel like doing this video. I just decided after watching that poorly edited trailer that I might as well go ahead and do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he has about 7 specials. Yeah, 7 specials. I think he said somewhere he wanted to do like 10, and then he would like retire or something like that from stand up. To be honest, he should have just stopped at 4. Like, I feel that if he had stopped at, let's say, Let Me Explain, that would have been a great stopping point. It would have been like Eddie Murphy, you know, he did, what was it, Delirious and Raw, and he just stepped away from stand up and focused more on, you know, the film industry, you know, making films and whatnot. And yeah, he dabbled in music, you know, Party All the Time, What's Up With You, but Eddie found success in, you know, movies. I think Kevin Hart should definitely back away from stand up. I mean, hey, if it makes him happy, by all means, you know, like, he's doing his thing, he's making money. But in terms of the quality, I'm not saying he doesn't have it anymore, but his comedy isn't hitting me the same way it used to. I mean, I get it. Like, there are only so many jokes you can tell that, you know, don't sound too familiar than the old ones. Like, I love the family aspect. I feel like that's why I said like he felt more, you know, I guess you could say grounded, or, you know, humility, if you will. Like, yeah, he would talk about his rich and lavish lifestyle, but it was done in a comedic sense of how his kids are being raised, given that they're in the lap of luxury, versus how he grew up, obviously not in the position that he is in now. So yeah, long story short, 6 out of 10. Would I highly recommend it? No. But if you wanted some background noise or something, I mean, again, it's only about an hour. Like, it's only about an hour long. If you have nothing else to do, if you're cleaning, or if you just want to kind of kick back and get a couple of laughs, I'd recommend it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you've seen this special. What's your favorite Kevin Hart special? I honestly can't pick one in particular. It would have to be between Laugh at My Pain or Seriously Funny. Now, Let Me Explain was incredible, but I don't know, the bum bump joke, when you compare that to like Corona, when it involves, you know, like, you know, not trying to be near people and people touching you, that is actually pretty damn funny. But then the Help Me, you know, I think Let Me Explain might edge it out. It's a tough one. Like, Seriously Funny, I felt like the first three, Grown Little Man, Seriously Funny, Laugh My Pain, I feel like that was a grounded Kevin Hart. Let Me Explain is like, you know, after he cheated and everything, so it felt like a little because, you know, him being a cheater was well known, but there were so many good ones. I would say I'm a Grown Little Man would probably be my bottom of those 4. Seriously Funny, the whole "Do You Boo Boo" is like, look at this, somebody come look at this. But I can't, the whole mom at the funeral is like, hey, you gonna learn today. It's either, for me, it's either, you know what, now that I talked about, Let Me Explain or Laugh at My Pain. I like how those two rhyme. One of those two is my favorite. It depends on the day. But yeah, let me know your favorite in the comment section below. Aside from the Kevin Hart special, are there any other specials you would recommend? I'm going to be honest here. Netflix just puts out way too many comedy specials. I lose track. Like, I feel like anytime I go on Netflix, you know, there's a Gabriel Iglesias special or something like that. Honestly, his Mr. Iglesias show is actually pretty good. But yeah, all that's to say, thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.